Hamilton's become now, I've heard so many people singing the songs, rapping, quoting the lyrics, protests. People have signs holding your lyrics. I mean, that's got to mean a lot to you, right?
Yeah, and I think also just because so much of the show is about legacy and how you can't control it. You can only make what you make and do what you do, and the rest is really not up to you. And so I'm incredibly proud when I see This Is Not a Moment, It's a Movement, or History Has Its Eyes on You at a Black Lives Matter protest, or, but what's weird about the show is because it brushes up against sort of the origins of our country, like it just hits different depending on where we are as a country. Like I remember going to see it in London when Brexit was happening and seeing King George singing like What Comes Next. You could feel the audience be like, oh, what does come next?
So topical.
Yeah, and because it brushes up against this origin story, because it's the story of the one immigrant among the founders, like it always has something to say about the moment, because we're constantly dealing with the past. And if this moment is any indication, like we're never done with the past. We're never done with the sins of the founders. We're never done with the flaws and contradictions in the founding. And so it just like hits differently depending on like where we are.
I just want to make sure I know it's July 3rd, correct?
July 3rd, midnight West Coast time. So that would be 3 a.m. New York time. Do the math to your respective time zones.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, like, and worldwide, everywhere that has Disney Plus.
Then here's another giant thing. Another thing why you're not sleeping or not. We Are Freestyle Love Supreme is another film.
Yes, that was a show that started in 2003 that it was just our friends. We were freestyling for fun. And it's a documentary about our 15 years. And when we had our Broadway run, you had us on our show to freestyle on your show. And so that's in the movie. And so that will now come out on Hulu on July 17th.
Can you talk about your new campaign? This is Raise Up.
Yeah, so, we're, as soon as the pandemic hit, we realized Black and brown communities were going to be overwhelmingly affected by this. And so the Raise Up Fund is a fund for the Hispanic Federation that donates to immigrant communities. And now we're also partnering with Color of Change, raising money for Color of Change and Black communities affected by this pandemic. There are so many things going on in the world, and this pandemic is still happening. And Latino communities, Black communities are disproportionately affected. I live in Washington Heights. That is the second highest hit neighborhood right now in New York. And so this fund, and so we have lots of basically like fun items to bid on, and the money will go to these communities. You can have a trivia night with Jonathan Groff. It's like the gang's all here. Like we had my wife is auctioning off like a cooking lesson. We auctioned off tickets to Hamilton whenever we open, wherever we open first. Chris Jackson and his wife auctioned an item. So we're sort of calling on all our friends to sort of make bids to make these special prizes, all to raise money for groups affected.
Yeah, raiseupfund.com. We put the thing on. I did this for the Chiron. The Chiron will now be on the screen. We're high tech. We're professional here at the Tonight Show.
Yeah. Oh, you guys have come a long way since that first show.
No, I'm just getting better wigs, or worse wigs. I don't know what's going on. All right. We're going to go to a commercial break. And if you can, stick around for 2 more seconds. Can I maybe ask you to maybe do a little freestyle when we come back? Maybe?
Yeah, we'll do some freestyle when you get back.
More with Lin-Manuel Miranda, everybody!
On and on and on. I said, and it's on and on and on.